So you want to know how your past experience ruins your future, huh? It's like your brain's got this messed up GPS that keeps trying to navigate your future using outdated maps. And let me tell you, it's not just about taking a wrong turn here and there. This faulty navigation system can lead you straight into a ditch. Let's break it down. Remember that boss who micromanaged every breath you took? Yeah. Now your brain's convinced all bosses are control freaks with trust issues. So, when your new manager asks for a quick update, you're already drafting your resignation letter in your head. Congrats. Your past just screwed up your chance at a potentially awesome job. Or how about relationships? That ex who treated commitment like it was a deadly disease. Now your brain's got this nifty little algorithm that says all potential partners come with a built-in ejector seat. So, when someone genuinely interested comes along, you're too busy looking for the exit sign to notice. Thanks, past experience, for potentially ruining your happily ever after. But wait, there's more. Remember when your cousin Jimmy started that business? Selling artisanal sock puppets and ended up living in his car? Now, your brain's got this flashing neon sign that says, all businesses are death traps. Every time you think about that brilliant idea you have. But hey, if Jimmy had struck gold instead, you'd probably be quitting your job right now to start Unicorn Tears, the next big beverage. Because obviously, if it worked for Jimmy, it'll work for everyone, right? And don't even get me started on how our parents' experiences mess us up. Dad had a bad experience with sushi in A2. Guess who's missing out on the joy of raw fish? Because fish should be cooked, son. That's just common sense. Mom had a creepy neighbor once. Now you're suspicious of anyone who smiles at you in the apartment elevator. Here's the kicker. Life is basically one big game of trial and error. Everyone's running around with their own unique set of experiences, creating their own personal choose-your-own-adventure book. But instead of choosing new adventures, we're stuck rereading the same old chapters, convinced that's all there is to the story. What really limits our growth is this annoying habit we have of ranting about the past and then doing absolutely nothing different in the future. It's like repeatedly slamming your face into a wall and then complaining about the wall. Now, I know what you're thinking, but my experiences are real. They happened. I'm just being cautious. And yeah, you're not wrong. Your experiences did happen. But here's a fun fact from our friends in psychology. It's called cognitive bias, and it's your brain's way of taking shortcuts. It's like your brain's lazy intern, making sweeping generalizations to avoid doing actual work. There's this thing called confirmation bias, where your brain cherry picks information that confirms what you already believe. So, if you think all bosses are jerks, guess what? Your brain's going to focus on every tiny thing your new boss does that could possibly be interpreted as jerky, while completely ignoring all the time that they're actually decent. Or how about availability bias? That's when your brain assumes that if something is easier to remember, it must be more important. So, if your last relationship ended in a spectacular dumpster fire, your brain's going to pull up that memory real quick when you're considering dating again, conveniently forgetting all the good times before it all went south. But here's the real mind bender. Your past experiences don't just ruin your future by making you avoid stuff. Sometimes they ruin it by making you repeat the same mistakes over and over. It's called the familiarity principle. Your brain actually prefers things it's familiar with, even if those things suck. So you end up dating the same type of person, taking the same type of job, making the same bad decisions, because hey, at least it's familiar. So what's the solution? How do we stop our past from constantly photobombing our future? Well, first off, awareness is key. Start noticing when you're making these sweeping generalizations. When you catch yourself thinking, all bosses are micromanagers, or all relationships are doomed to fail, or all new business ventures are risky and bound to fail. Stop and ask yourself, is that really true? Or is my brain just being a lazy bum? Next, challenge those thoughts. Play devil's advocate with yourself. If you're convinced all businesses are risky because of Cousin Jimmy's sock puppet fiasco, research some successful small businesses. Find the exceptions to your rule. And here's a wild idea. Try new things. I know, scary, right? But every new experience is a chance to update that outdated GPS in your brain. It's like installing a software update, but for your life. Lastly, remember that your past experiences are just that, past. They happened, they taught you something, but they don't have to define your future. You're the author of your story, not just a character stuck following a predetermined plot. So next time you find yourself avoiding an opportunity because of a past bad experience, or repeating a mistake because it's familiar, pause. Take a breath and ask yourself, am I letting my past ruin my future? Or am I ready to write a new chapter? Remember, life's too short to let your past keep photobombing your future. It's time to kick that unwanted guest out of the picture and start snapping some new awesome shots of your life. Who knows? Your next experience might just be the one that changes everything. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to try sushi for the first time. Sorry, Dad, but I think it's time to make my own fishy memories. Wish me luck.